Marketing says Go Team quite like wearing merch that was made in a factory where the workers couldn't go to the bathroom. Allegedly. Yes, let's talk about Cutter and Buck. They say that they're a manufacturer of upscale golf attire, as well as collegiate and professional sport apparel. Maybe you don't recognize the name, but what they're going to do is fan apparel for the NFL, college, MLB, MLS, and MILB. On their website, they'll tell you so many things about sustainability, like our sweaters are made from recycled water bottles. Here's they forgot one really big part about sustainability, which is the social part and the treatment of garment workers. And that's because in 2025, they are still sourcing from Myanmar. Back in 2021, a lot of international brands were urged to divest from Myanmar. And I'm going to give a much too short summary. In 2021, there was a military coup. The military essentially took power. Since then, the military regime has systematically dismantled all systems that upheld human and labor rights in the country. It was saying, like, if you are a brand and you stay in Myanmar, you are basically benefiting from an environment of fear, forced labor, and exploitation. So, doesn't sound like the greatest of working conditions. If we fast forward to 2024, Myanmar was ranked as one of the 10 worst countries for working people, and the industrial zones where these garment manufacturers are located are going to be under martial law. Additionally, the cost of living has skyrocketed there. However, their minimum wage has stayed as $1.50 per day. So again, not great. But if you're a big fashion manufacturer that has to make a lot of stuff like all the time, could be a bit helpful. Some of their most recent shipments will be coming from Sang Myanmar Apparel. So here's some of the allegations I can find about this supplier. A lot of them are going to be forced overtime, workers getting sick because of the forced overtime, and being cut for 11 days for not working the 2 days when the factory is closed. And workers had to work without going to the toilet or taking any water breaks. And when New Wave, the parent company of Cutter and Buck, when this was brought to their attention, they gave this little letter basically saying that the supplier has gone through, a lot of audits and a lot of certifications, and we consider them to be in good standing. Another supplier, Honda Yagon, well, they're licensed to make some stuff for Boston College, Columbia, Cornell, George Washington. A lot of allegations about this factory too. Pressure, a lot of verbal assault, and it also says that when workers go to get a drink of water, their photos are being taken, so they are essentially being surveilled. And then we have Join Profit Myanmar. In 2017 to 2019, there was a 2-year investigation going on, and during this investigation, they found some instances of child labor. And while you can work at 14 and 15 in Myanmar, there's only a certain amount of hours that you can work, and a lot of these children were over that limit. And for the viewers at home, these are some of the colleges. Let me get smaller. These are just some of the colleges that Join Profit has like a license to make stuff for via Cutter and Buck. Also, I don't know what the Church of Latter-day Saints was doing in this sourcing thing, but found them too. And this one, Bago Young. Okay, this one literally had me feeling like this. Like I was like, this goes all the way to the top. Allegedly. I was looking at their info and their contact email is at sumek.com.cn. Okay, so this garment factory is part of Sumek Textile and Light Corporation, which is a subsidiary of the Sumek Group, which is a subsidiary of the China National Machinery Industry Corporation. And according to this list, it says that this company was basically helping to implement a shipyard in Myanmar. So basically building infrastructure, which would in turn strengthen the junta. And this supplier, which appears to be connected to this, it has a license to make stuff for these colleges and these ones. God, and I didn't even get to like the professional sports. There's so much. So yeah, while Cutter and Buck is saying that, yeah, sustainability because we're using plastic bottles to make your sweatshirt, they seem to have forgotten about all the labor rights abuses that are still going on in Myanmar.